happening? What's going on?
Zaina, what are you doing?
Helping you fulfill your purpose. Your ambitions. You belong to Mehrunes Dagon.
What happened? No! Zaina! Damn it! You betrayed us! Damn her! Zaina betrayed us and cast us into the spider nest! It's a dungeon beneath her sanctuary. She sends her enemies here to die. We aren't her enemies. She saved my life many times. If she'd wanted to hurt me, she could have done so long ago. Why turn against me now? I don't want to believe that. But I heard what she said too. And she completely drained my energy. I can't call upon my power until it recharges. We need to find a way out of here. We need to get to Kalia and Destron before Zaina turns them over. First things first. I need to restore my power. Let me think. Zaina told me about an old foe she destroyed, tossed them into this place and kept their skull as a trophy. It may hold enough energy to recharge my power immediately. The skull is in the treasure chamber. You can get there through the east door, retrieve it, and meet me at the door in the north. When you find me, I'll be in a meditative state. Present the skull, and I'll do the rest. Menthix, an ancient rival. Challenging him was one of the last tasks Zaina assigned to me as she trained me to control my power. Together, we vanquished Menthix and left his bones in the spider nest. Zaina did something to Menthix to chain his essence here forever. She kept him from coming back by trapping his power here, below her temple. That's also why the skull contains energy. Energy I can use to recharge my own power. She probably didn't want to have to deal with 3 ambitions and you at the same time. She needs our powers at their full strength for whatever she has planned. She reversed what I did. I could feel it. Kalia and Destron's powers have been unleashed. Eventually. But probably not before she completes whatever she has in mind. Hurry. We need that skull. With it, I can recharge my power and help the twins. Then, when they aren't in imminent danger of exploding, we can figure out the rest. The skull contains the trapped essence of a powerful Daedric lord. If Zaina had simply killed her rival, he would have returned like Daedra do. So instead, she trapped a portion of his energy to keep him from coming back. You heard Zaina. My powers of both Oblivion and Nirn. I could use a spark from the trapped essence of a Daedric lord to recharge my power. That means Zaina's old enemy will be free to return someday. Not that I care about that anymore. feel the residual energy. Hold the skull toward me, please. While my power finishes recharging, take a look at what I found. I left it over there. All right, I'm ready. Follow me. We have to stop Zyna. Attack!
She's
doing something to the twins!
Lord Dagon will reward me for the ambitions belong to Lord Dagon.
I'll help Callie and Destron.
Their power is
You
for
deal with
him
Zyna.
alone. My master will reward me for destroying you. Only you truly understood the nature of the ambitions. I will not fail my lord and prince.
Zyna. She was going to sacrifice us to Mehrunes Dagon.
Sombrin, how could you bring us to this monster?
She wasn't like this. I didn't know.
Destron, help me open a portal. Like Sombrin showed us on the hilltop.
This wasn't how it was supposed to turn out. Come on. Zyna, she never gave me any indication that she was going to betray us. That she was involved in our creation and wanted to sacrifice us to Mehrunes Dagon. At least the twins don't appear to be in imminent danger of exploding. Let me take another look at Zyna's contracts. Yes, it's here. Zyna used a holy book to show Von Dacia how to create the 4 ambitions. Could it have been the Mysterium Xarxis? She was always loyal to Dagon. She never wanted to help us at all. Hopefully, they're either still locked in a vault or wandering free like I was. I hate to think that Von Dacia captured them while we were busy elsewhere. I'm not sure what we should do next, my friend. It's beginning to seem hopeless. I hope you're right, but I can't see a way ahead from here. If all else fails, we'll destroy ourselves before we let Dagon win. We're the keys to unlock the barriers between here and the Deadlands. We can't allow ourselves to fall into his hands. Callie and Destron. They have no reason to trust me. Not anymore. But I'll still protect them. And somehow, I'll find a way to earn their trust again. Whatever Zyna did to prepare them to be sacrificed, it seems to have dampened their power. How long that will last, I have no idea. But until their power builds to uncontrollable levels again, they should be able to use it to help us. I'll try to train the twins as Zyna trained me. If all else fails, I can take them back to the Deadlands. The realm seems to naturally siphon off our energy and keep it at manageable levels. Not my first choice, but it will serve as a last resort. I'm sorry. I had no idea Zaina meant to betray us.
She wanted to kill us, Sombrin. An apology isn't going to cut it.
Destron, Zaina betrayed Sombrin too.
Because he was stupid enough to trust her.
I will make this right. I promise.
Let's return to the temple. We shouldn't be discussing this in the street.
Gideon is not the ground on which we conduct this fight. There is a better place to defend the ambitions. You return at a grim moment, mercenary. While you were gone, word reached us that the Waking Flame is gathering an army. I fear it will soon march on Gideon. But Evely said you took the ambitions to learn about their powers. Did you succeed? We are all in danger. At least you kept the ambitions safe. I thank you for that. Concerning the cult, Evely and I have made plans. But first, I want you to have this. Compensation for the work you have done up to this point on Blackwood's behalf. The Order of the Waking Flame has cast a net around Gideon. Von Dacia is gathering an army, including guards from the garrison who were loyal to him all along. He knows the ambitions were here, and that they have now returned. No, the city is no place for a battle. When foes surround you, it is wise to put your back spines to a tree. We will move the ambitions to Fort Redmane. The Imperials abandoned it years ago, but my Blackfin Legion has been restoring its defenses. No, I have another task for you. Summon what allies you can to Fort Redmane to help defend the ambitions. I sent my Legion ahead, but I fear we will need more warriors. Before you go, tell the ambitions what we are doing and why. They trust you. Tell the ambitions we will defend them with our lives. Just not here, where so many civilians could be endangered. Let us use Fort Redmane as the tree against our backs. Evely will see the ambitions safely to the fort. Talk to her before you go. I leave the specifics up to you. Consider who you have helped throughout Blackwood. Evely might have some ideas. Remember, this is not a mission for just any courier or messenger. The cult has made the roads of Blackwood especially dangerous. They are my brothers and sisters in arms, the finest Argonian warriors to ever emerge from Black Marsh. It started as a mercenary band and was tempered in the Akaviri and Alliance wars. Now they protect Gideon, and they will protect the ambitions.
Tell the ambitions no army of crazed cultists is going to sacrifice them on our watch. But try not to alarm them, which might be tricky. After I send out the call for allies, I'll escort Sombrin and the twins to Fort Redmane. Right. Anyone with an army that can help us. You head to Leowin. I'm sure Captain Rian would be happy for the Ivory Brigade to lend a hand. Beyond that, what about anyone else you helped here in Blackwood? Anyone have any soldiers they can spare? That's great. My brother Baragon always told me that adventures turn on the favors we collect along the way. So, who do you think we can count on? The Border Watch garrison of the Ivory Brigade! Great fighters from what I've heard. You should absolutely ask the commander to send whatever support he can to Fort Redmane. Tell Sombrin and the twins I'll be with them shortly. I have a few more details to work out with the governor. After that, go see Captain Rian and then meet me at Fort Redmayne. But don't take too long. I'd rather you were there when the cult attacks. You went to the Deadlands? And you took the ambitions with you? What were you thinking? What did you expect was going to happen in the Deadlands? That's where Mehrunes Dagon keeps all his stuff. Well, at least everyone made it back. Now, we just need to keep them safe from Vandacia and the Order of the Waking Flame.
The Order of the Waking Flame has an army.
Something's going on, isn't it? Seems like every Blackfin Legionnaire is in a hurry today. Let me guess. Vandacia's coming for us again. I know the place. It's an old Imperial garrison, isn't it? I passed by it during my travels after Varen's forces released me from my vault. A fort is more defensible than Gideon anyway. I see the logic. But aren't you coming with us? I swear to protect the twins in your absence. I took Zaina at her word, and it nearly cost Kalia and Destron their lives. I'll die before I put them in danger again.
Mercenary, we'll be moving to retake Border Watch soon. Or have you returned for some other reason? Crazed cultists? Retaking our garrison can wait. The Brigadines of Border Watch will stand with you. I do love returning a favor. I'll mobilize everyone I can spare and meet you at Fort Redmayne. We'll fight these cultists together. Don't mention it. Reports of Councillor Vandacia's villainy reached me, so I have some idea of what we're up against. I'm happy to lend our support to put an end to this Daedric cult. We'll see you at Fort Redmayne.
The Shadow Scale's remains are destroyed, and we are triumphant. Thank you, valiant traveler. I could not have finished this task without your help. Indeed, your actions ensured those remains can no longer be exploited. I am sure were their spirits still present, they would thank you for your efforts. Allow me to extend a more tangible gratitude here for your help. Before we part, allow me to offer you some wisdom. Remember, as you journey through life, all things must pass in order to begin again. Knowing this simple fact eases pain and suffering. Learn to let go, and what was lost will be reborn. I will carry on, as is my purpose as a Niswo. I cannot say for sure where this responsibility will take me next, but change is the only thing that is guaranteed. Whatever path I walk next will be different from the one I walk now. And to you as well. I cannot say where my responsibilities will take me, but I do hope that one day they bring me to you again. It has been a great pleasure. Sithis the Changer is honored today, and the cycle continues.
I admit it's quite a story, but I know the difference between a tall tale and a large problem. I'll help however I can.
I shudder to think what your elven circus would consider far-fetched. I'm not so sure I believe it myself.
Greetings, traveler. If you've come to witness the marvels and mysteries of our troupe, I hope you haven't traveled far. Our performance is postponed indefinitely. On account of drama, ironically enough. There's a more sinister mischief in Farmer's Nook than the sort the House of Reveries trades in. I hear of townsfolk disappearing, only to turn up and act oddly. We only set camp recently, but the locals fear we've somehow caused their plight. None. That farmer Hesef said his sister was among the afflicted, and she died recently. At least he thought she died, but she left no corpse. I must clear the troop's name. With the locals wary as they are, though, I need help, and I can pay. Hesef mentioned that 2 of his neighbors also had loved ones vanish. Breton DeVoe and Jahuz. Speak with them. They may be more open with a less grandiose traveler. You might also speak with Hesef directly, if you wish. Any other day, I'd claim to be the lost princess of Piandania and regale you with tales of my exploits, but now's not the time for such frivolities. My fellows and I are entertainers from the House of Reveries, here to perform across all of Tamriel. I've been greatly disappointed with how often I've gotten that question since we departed from Somerset. There's not a soul in the Isles who hasn't heard of the Manor of Masks and its famed performers. But Tamriel will know it soon enough. Theater, conservatory, circus, salon, temple. The House of Reveries wears as many guises as we do. It is the ancestral home of all the performing arts in Somerset, and the world, if you believe some of the sapiarchs. Sleepy little towns like Farmer's Nook are the most in need of an escape from the mundane. We came to offer them some mirth and mystery, but it appears we've been upstaged. Well, our troop won't be outdone so easily. We have a reputation to uphold. Help, of course. I've devoted my life to liberating people from their troubles, however briefly. And if I can't do that from a stage, then I will take my talents where they are most needed. I may seem a simple thespian to you, but I have had other roles in this life before I found my calling. While I may not count adventurer among them, I'm certain that I am far better prepared to unravel this mystery than these unfortunate folk.
So, working with the mummers. They may seem strange, but you're safer resting at their camp than at the inn. Not to say Breton runs a poor establishment, mind. There's just strangeness afoot in our little village. Folk have been going missing of late, including my sister, Seal. Never for long, a few days. Just enough to plant a worry before they wander back as if nothing happened. But something did. They come back different. Like everything's unfamiliar. Weren't her memory. She could recall details down to where she last left the salt, but acted like she'd never tasted it. She'd bring up things I'd long forgotten as if they'd happened yesterday. Started dredging up old hurts we'd put past us long ago. Can't say. Felt like she wanted to relive the past, good and bad. Don't know what would have brought that on. We lead quiet lives now. Happy lives, I thought. Led, I suppose. She's gone now. If it was even her in the first place. Seal led me to our old swimming hole. Hadn't been there in decades. She dove right in like we did as kids. I looked away before she struck the water. She hit hard. When I screwed up the courage to look, just inky black water. She was gone. That's right. Even with that ink in the pool, I could tell her body weren't there. I searched around the swimming hole, too. Nothing. Not so much as a wet footprint, or even more of that vile ink, like she'd vanished. A lot from our childhood, mostly. If our parents were around, they were deep in the skooma, so Seal and I had to look out for each other. Not so much anymore. The years have been peaceful here. I suppose we'd grown distant before she vanished. No. Maybe. We'd sit down for meals together and tend the farm together, but there's not much to talk about in Farmer's Nook. Another field planted, another day gone by. Was she trying to tell me something? What was she trying to say? We were all a bit shaken by what happened with Igmund, but things were getting back to normal. Until Seal went out to collect logs and didn't return. I begged the others to help me search for her, but they feared they'd vanish too. Truth is, I didn't make it far myself. I thought I heard things in those woods. Even during the day, it felt like something was watching. When she showed up at the house again, I nearly fainted. I should have been relieved, but I felt haunted. Can a ghost take your hand? Make a meal? If she slept, I never saw it. I barely slept myself. The staring was the worst. Felt like she was always watching, smiling. When she'd blink, it was like one eye was a hair shy of the other. Gave me chills.